Alright, so here is the story of our new RV. I mentioned a little bit in the last video that this was something I had kind of been thinking about at the beginning of the new year of 2023. We had our old RV. It's just almost 9 years since we had our old RV. After living full-time in that RV for 6 years, we knew the ins and outs of what we liked and didn't like about living in an RV, and we had gone to several RV shows. In going to RV shows, we had seen this exact floor plan of the Grand Design, and we had bookmarked it as, wow, we love that floor plan, that's a great layout, we love the design, we love how this one feels, and that just sat on the back burner. We had not been in the market to get a new RV. We actually still have our old one, but we have not been using our old one because the job that we have provides us with housing, and we had some plumbing issues on the last one, so it has just kind of been sitting in storage. Okay, fast forward. So here we are, beginning of 2023, and my husband and I were thinking about how we might have a little side gig, do something in addition to our full-time job, make a little extra money. And it came to me that, hey, maybe we could get a new RV. So I refinanced a little bit, and then I was able to get the money secured for a down payment, and we started looking. Now, in looking, we did not have this RV on our radar because we knew it was way out of our price range. So we were looking at some smaller trailers, and we were looking at things that would be reasonable to rent to somebody. And living in this area in the Grand Canyon, obviously this is a prime place for vacationers and very RV friendly. Lots of people want to RV here, and we see RV rental units all over the place all the time. So we figured, well, let's get in on this. We had a really bad first experience with a dealership down in Phoenix, and we were just about ready. We were sitting down. We had our finances approved. We were just about ready to sign everything. Actually, we did have pen on paper. We had signed things. And then they hit us with all of these destination fees, like thousands of dollars, not something insignificant at all. And we really didn't feel that they had our best interest in mind, and so we pulled out of that deal, and we were very discouraged. We went back home and started looking again, and within 2 or 3 days of having that bad experience, we saw this RV posted at a competitor's dealership. I called them right away and inquired, also asking about hidden fees and closing costs and destination fees and all of that other stuff that that experienced dealership sprung on us at the last minute. And this sounded like a really good deal. There were pictures of it on their website, and it looked like it was in great condition, and we liked the description of it, and we had all the financing secured, so we literally bought this RV sight unseen. It cost about half, if not less than half, of what it would have cost new, and it's barely been used. So I think we got a great deal. The dealership was super great, very easy to work with, outgoing, went out of their way to help us understand everything that we needed to, and they basically allowed us to do this whole entire transaction remotely, without ever even coming to the dealership. The only time we had to go down to the dealership was to sign the closing papers and take possession of it. So they made it really easy, and in March of 2023, we went down there and drove home with this new RV. So the next project was to go ahead and get photos and videos of it. All this footage that you see behind is what I was trying to get some usable footage and clips for posting it up to the websites. We decided to go with RV Share and Outdoorsy, and we had it up and ready to rent by Memorial Day weekend in May of 2023. All said and done, we ended up renting it about 6 times before our situation changed unexpectedly. I think all said and done, we had just broken even on what we had put into it for bedding and kitchenware and things like that. and we had to turn away many more rental offers. The ones that we did choose to do were very successful. A couple little problems here and there, but all said and done, I think had we continued to do this, and or maybe at some point we will go back and revisit this and do this again, I think this could have been something that would have gone from just a side hustle into potentially having a small fleet of rental RVs and delivering them to the campground, setting them all up, and making it as easy as the rental customer meets you there at the campground. You do a walkthrough, take the photos, hand them the keys, and let them have a nice little vacation. When they're done, you meet back up with them, you collect the keys, you take photos again for before and after for insurance purposes, and then you take possession of the RV, clean it, turn it over, and then get it ready for the next rental. We really enjoyed doing it, and we were very lucky that we had the flexibility in our jobs to have the schedules so that we could be flexible enough to work with these customers, the rental customers, to get the RV to the campground of their choice and when they needed it, and pick it up and bring it back when they needed it. I think also our knowledge of the area, knowing a lot already about the campgrounds around us, and of course knowing a ton about the Grand Canyon from having worked there for 4 years, I think that it made us ideal candidates for a great package. Not only was it the RV, the setup and the pickup, but also a personal touch with knowing the area and offering and sharing advice on what to do, what to see, etc. while the guests were visiting in the canyon and using our RV as a rental. Additionally, there is a storage facility right down the street from us that was very cost effective and very convenient, and the lady that runs that was lovely to us, so that was very convenient. The only challenging thing we found is because we don't have a place to hook it up with water and electric for cleaning purposes. That was tricky and challenging because we would actually have to end up extending the RV campground a day, or taking it to a different campground for a day so that we could hook up, empty the tanks, and clean and detail everything. Also doing the laundry, because we do not have a laundry facility. Paying to do the laundry got very pricey, so that was kind of a big expense for us. But other than that, it was a great experience, and we really enjoyed it. We think that we were good at it, and it could be something that we could explore down the road again. When we started doing this in May, we really did have our sights set on doing it through the entire season, straight through till the end of October, possibly even into November. Like I said, we had plenty of reservations that we had to turn down, and we had to actually cancel a few at the last moment that we already had. So I think very quickly it would have turned into something profitable, and if nothing else, it would have been enough to pay for the monthly payments and the insurance costs of the new RV. And since we weren't using it at the time, it made perfect sense to do that. Well, fast forward with that, cat's out of the bag. We only did it about a half a dozen times, and that is because in May we ended up having a change of plans. Nothing that we expected, and all said and done, it was a great change of plans for us, even though at the time it was a little rough. It has put us in a very different place, and while I am making this video, we are in a very different place than we were this time last year. So stay tuned for the rest of 2023 to see what comes. All right, and happy RV adventures. If anybody out there is renting an RV or thinking about renting an RV, I would recommend doing it. We had a very good experience with it. All right, take care.